All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It's 5:30. We can have a moment of silence. Dennis, if you can lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Richard?
Here.
Duda?
Here.
Juanita? Here. Ernie?
Here.
All right, approval of minutes from regular meeting held September 1st, 2020.
I, Juanita, make a motion of the approval of minutes from the regular meeting held on September 1st.
I'm Richard taking it.
Okay, I have a motion by Juanita, a second by Richard. Roll call. Richard?
For.
Duda?
Four.
Juanita?
Four.
Ernie?
Four.
Okay, approval for tonight's agenda, September 15th, 2020. The only thing that needs to be taken off is executive session. We were told today by the Municipal League that asking for a raise does not constitute executive session because it's not a promotion. So that's the only change that we have to make.
I, Juanita, make a motion to approve the agenda for September 15, 2020 with the deletion of executive session, which is number 15.
I, Aurora, second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Juanita, a second by Aurora. Roll call. Richard?
For.
Judah?
Four.
Juanita?
Four.
Ernie?
For.
All right, motion passes. Approval of voucher for August 2020.
The animal care equipment, there's a correct, correct? Did I say
Yeah,
that?
the last one.
Yes.
Yeah, what happened was on a previous month, we purchased for $230 or $255 this stuff that we ordered before, and I guess we didn't like it. And then I didn't know that, so I ordered it, and then he's like, no, we canceled that, and then ordered what I do like. And so that was at 2:30.
I do to make a motion for approval of voucher for August 2020.
Richard, second it?
We have a motion for approval of voucher for August 2020 by Aurora, second by Richard. Roll call, Richard.
Four.
Aurora.
4.
Juanita.
4.
Ernie.
4.
Okay, motion passes. Approval to purchase 6 months of radio announcements on KXNM for $1,500. Lacey Cromer, are you there?
No, Art Swank is here.
Art Psycho, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
All right, the floor is yours.
Yeah. I wanted to just kind of let everybody know that what this covers, as well as promoting the town and promoting everything that's happening in the town, it also covers any promotions the town's doing. There's no charge for any of that advertising at all. That all is part of the whole package. Also, we're now streaming, and you can hear our signal worldwide, and so anything that is put on the radio is heard every place. I mean, it's pretty wild, it really is, but it works very well. I think it's well worth continuing on with it. I know I've talked to several businesses in Mountain Air, and they feel that it's helped them somewhat, but of course that's up to you folks to make that decision. But I'd be happy to answer any questions. I just want everybody to know that we certainly appreciate the town doing this for the radio station, and I would certainly want to continue doing everything that we can do for the town.
Thank you, Art. Do you have any questions for Art?
I do. This is a 6-month contract, or what is this, 5 months?
October to March. October,
5 months, I guess?
October, November, December, January, February, March. 6.
6-month contract, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
$250 a month.
Now, one of the things that if we ever got back into football or basketball again and so on, with the streaming, the away teams, their parents and everybody could hear the game because it would be on and they could hear it, and they could hear their kids and what they're doing, and the plays that they make and so on, which would be really neat. Also, if you do any drama or any plays like that, we could certainly work and try and get those to be live so that we could put those on the air and people could listen to them. It'd be kind of neat.
Yeah. And it's really up to you guys. I mean, personally, I would like to just take a small hiatus just until legislation happens and we start seeing what's going to happen down the pipeline.
Until what happens?
Legislation.
Oh.
But I mean, it's up to you. 250 is not a lot per month. I don't know. Just with COVID, I don't think we have a lot of things going. I don't know. It's just some questions to ask yourselves.
I know there's pros and cons both ways, and advertising is kind of a funny thing because when you don't do it, and you've been doing it, people sort of miss it, but they never do say anything one way or the other, so.
I'm just wondering, maybe at this time, can we do like a 3-month commitment? And do
Sure, you could do that, or you could wait 3 months and then do it, because 3 months, let's see, that'd be October, November, December.
So I was just thinking we could do 750, and we can even actually pay for October, November, December, and then we can revisit this in December and just kind of, see what's happening at the time. I just don't want to make
Sure.
any, and it's nothing against the radio station, I just don't want to make any major commitments at this point.
Sure.
Just because of the unknown at this point, there's a lot of unknowns. So if we can do the 750 for October to December, and then you come and visit us again in a December meeting, and we can talk about January through March.
Why don't we could, another thing that we could do, Mayor, is we could just do a month to month. I would come back in December and talk about whether we want to continue or whether,
I think we could do the 3
came up
month. I think we could do the 3 month. For 750
Okay.
for October through December, and then in December you let us know and we reevaluate for January through March or January through
Sure.
June or whatever at the time.
Sure.
Is that
Be
okay?
happy to do that.
Okay.
Yep. That would work.
What do you guys think?
Do we know how many businesses actually call in and advertise with you, Mr. Swanka?
I think that all
Did you know? Did you hear me?
Can you hear Councilman Lopez?
No, I couldn't. What was that?
Go ahead and write.
He said, do you know how many businesses advertise with you
From our town.
from our town?
Oh, in Moriarty,
Mount Air.
Mount Air.
in Mountain Air, I think there's only 2 that's not.
That's not.
That's not.
I think all the rest of them are. I think there's only 2 that aren't advertising with us.
Okay, I didn't know. Maybe you could send Dennis an email of those 2 and I'll go be a salesman for you.
I don't know if you heard that, Mr. Swanka. He said maybe, or Councilman Lopez said maybe you can send him the list of the 2 and he can go talk to them for you.
Oh, sure. Okay, I would be happy to do that. I would be happy to do that.
Any more questions?
I don't have anything else.
Well, we need a motion.
And I thank you very much for that offer. I'll do that.
Perfect.
Does Mr. Swika own that?
Yeah, I believe so. Mr. Swanka, this is kind of a personal question. Do you own the radio station?
No, it's a public radio station. You folks own it. I just operate it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's a public radio station. It's owned by the people, and we have a board that we answer to, and I'm the president of the board, and I basically just like radio, so I get involved in it. But it is owned by the people.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Well, I've got a question then on the item number 8. Do we need to make another motion for 3 months, or do we just modify the way this is written for 3 months instead of 6?
Yeah, I would say it in the motion.
Just
So
modify
I
it
make a
within the
motion
motion?
that we approve $750 for October to December, basically.
To December?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have no more questions. I don't know if anybody else does. No? All right, then I'd like to make a motion of approval to purchase 3 months instead of 6 months for $750 from October 2019 to December 2019.
2020.
Oh, I'm sorry, correction, from October 2020 to December 2020 for radio announcements on KXNM.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Ernie to approve $750 for October through December, seconded by Richard. Roll call, Richard.
Or
Aurora.
Or
Juanita.
For
Ernie.
4.
Motion passes. All right, Art, it looks like we're gonna do $750 for the 3 months, so, and then let us know in December.
I will do that, and, you know, I'll come back and talk to you again in November.
Sure.
You know, I like Mountain Air. I spend a lot of time at Mountain Air.
Thank you, Art. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, next item of business, approval to give MVD clerk Gloria Luna a pay raise. Gloria?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to thank you for allowing me this time to come and bring this concern that I have to the board. Am I standing too close? No?
No, you might actually have to be a little bit closer. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Can you turn the speaker?
Yeah, let's turn it.
Hold on one sec. I don't know if people on the phone can hear. There we go.
Already turned the other one towards the.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
Okay. Okay. I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to bring my concern up to the board. My concern is that last year when we received our COLA raise in 2019, I noticed that a pay scale had been made for each department. Everyone in the front of the office got a $2 raise. I didn't. My question is that how was that scale based on or compared to? I've done a little bit of research on pay scales throughout New Mexico and other MVD entities and have contacted my bureau chief and the deputy director in Santa Fe. And they've given me a pay range scale for my position. And I do understand that, you know, we are in a pandemic, and I know that I am a municipality. But I just want you all to please keep in mind, I've obtained several certificates that I've completed throughout the years. I've maintained my certificates. Without them, I wouldn't even be able to be open for business. Without these yearly trainings and testing, I would not be able to open my computer. They would shut me down until they were completed and tests were passed. Being a bin inspector, which requires a lot of skill and knowledge, is only given by the Dealers Bureau and only to MVD, MVD partners, and law enforcement. I've maintained that since 2011. After completing and training and testing, having to recertify every 2 years and retest, and this certification is not just a one-time thing. This pandemic has really taken a toll on a lot of people and businesses. I would also like to add that with my job, I'm also bilingual. There have been several times that I have been called to the front office to translate either in person or on the phone, also to translate during an interview for the town of Mountain Air. I had spoke with Mayor Nieto about this last year in 2019, and I brought up to Mayor Nieto again about during the pandemic, and he assured me that I would get this raise. All I'm asking the council is to consider giving me a $2 raise, and to raise the pay scale for which they have me at right now. I do understand the pandemic has put a toll on a lot of businesses and the way of living and bills, but bills keep coming. If the council can agree to at least give me, if they don't agree on the $2, if they can at least agree to give me $1 now, and then maybe $1 in January. I've been here almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years now in December. Other employees that have been here a lot less than I have are only making like 75 cents less than I am. I have emails and from my bureau chief and the deputy director. I have several certificates, as I had mentioned, and online reviews surrounding MVDs. I'm a manager in my office, and therefore I feel I should get paid as the manager's position and not as the clerk. Thank you for your time.
I just want to, can I speak? Sure. I just want to let everybody know that Gloria did reach out to me on September 11th, last Friday, to discuss the $2 pay raise. She said, you know, that this is what was discussed between Gloria and the mayor several months back. Mayor said it was okay to reach out to one council person, so she is not wanting special favors.
I did say all council members.
Oh, yeah, she just
Sorry,
wanted,
not
so she
one.
reached out
An employee
to,
can talk to all council. We can't talk to more than one.
No, I only talked to her.
Oh.
She only spoke with
But if
me.
you read the text,
I
I
didn't-
did tell you you could talk to all.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
But she did speak with me
I just-
on Friday. Sorry about that. She is not wanting special favors. It is not her. She just wants fairness. So I told Gloria I would let the council know. And I just have a few things that I wrote down. I don't know, do you want me to say them now or wait?
Sure, if you want.
Okay. I personally think she does a great job. Of course, I think Dennis as her supervisor would probably, know more about everything that goes on in the town, and also the mayor. We need to consider her performance, the revenue she brings in, the service that she is to the community by being there. It might be also appropriate to look at all the salaries for the other town employees. Everyone is hurting because of the pandemic, but there's potentially less money coming into the town because of the pandemic also. So we got to justify, if we're able to do this. If we can't, maybe we can reevaluate in 6 months. That's all I have to say about this.
And I talked to Gloria. This is not personal by any means, and I reached out to her. I told her that. To me, it would just be fiscally irresponsible for us to do this right now in the middle of the pandemic. I broke down some stuff on Gloria's pay, and so in the first 5.5 years that she was here, she got a total raise during that time of $3 per hour, $3 from the starting until 5.5 years in. This was an average of 55 cents per year in the first 5.5 years. In the past 4 years, since I've been on council and since I've been mayor, she's made $5.25 more. Breaking that down, she's made $1.31 per year for the last 4 years as far as raises go. So I just want to be clear that, when I came in, everyone saw a raise because I thought that we should definitely treat our employees the way that we felt. We passed the pay scale. A pay scale doesn't necessarily get updated every single year. It should definitely be updated every 2 to 3 years, no doubt. The last one that we passed was July 1st of 2019, which it's barely been about a year and a couple months. The plan was after the pandemic, or actually the plan before the pandemic, was to update it again in 2021. That is still the plan, depending what happens in January with the legislator. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to lower funding. I'm guessing that they are because we're in a crunch statewide. I'm thinking that we're going to lose potential funding. That's why I worry to make a decision right now at this time. As I mentioned to Gloria, I can't see it happening. I don't mind looking at it after we know what happens in January. But at this time, I just think it would be irresponsible for us to approve a pay raise at this time. If you look at some of the stuff, so there's also some other information. I'm not going to say that out loud because this includes pay and information from another municipality that I don't think is our business. It's just for you to take a look at there for Estancia. The pay scale from the state MVD, that's a little different because that's state MVD. When you're a state MVD, that basically means that the state of New Mexico runs the MVD and they have an office. So if the state MVD ran our office, we would have an MVD office in Mount Airy that belonged to the state. The town would have no business, doing nothing. We don't deal with pay. We don't deal with insurance. We are much different. When you look at what is brought in from the MVD, the town basically pays to have an MVD here. She doesn't bring in the money, not because you don't, just because, how do I put that? Not because of what you're doing, because you're doing an amazing job and you're bringing in revenue. It's just a smaller part, and we only get a percentage, which is
Like 10 to 12%.
10 to 12% of all
It's
transactions.
economy of scale.
So if a state MVD was here and they made $20,000 doing driver's license, this is just an example, that $20,000 is their profit, is their revenue. Here, since we run the MVD, if we make $20,000, 12% of that is ours. 88% of that belongs to the state of New Mexico. So those are things that we have to consider. Now, we do have the MVD here and other places such as Asante too, as a courtesy to the people. Obviously, we don't want, to have to go to Albuquerque or go far for MVD. So it's definitely a needed service, and I'm not, I love having the MVD here. But we just have to look at it from a revenue versus expenditure standpoint. And right now, it would be too hard. Now, some ideas that I thought of, and I don't know if these are possible or not, but some ideas that we can look at is, bin inspections. You're not required to do bin inspections, but you do them. Maybe we start charging a small fee for that, and that goes into a fund, and then that's where you could get some rates. Okay?
So MVD, being that I am contracted in through
Will
the
not let you
state,
do that.
I'm not allowed
Okay.
to charge.
Okay.
The only,
And that makes sense.
the only thing, I can only do my bin inspections on the premises. I'm not, if we were charging, I'd be able to leave the house.
Okay.
Law enforcement would be able to, if they want to get certified, to do like second, third level. I don't know.
Sure.
And then I just wanted to add, when you were talking about the revenues, I had spoke with Dennis earlier, and he had said, at least I'm not at the bottom bringing in revenues. I'm not, there's someone else that's below me, so I'm not mentioning anything.
Yes, no, definitely. And like I said, I love Gloria. I think she's perfect for the job. She does amazing things, and this is nothing to do with personally. So
I know, I
please
understand.
that.
I do.
And I told you that myself. I mean, it's just fiscally right now, I don't think we can do it. And when we update next year, or if that's the plan, I think we could definitely see an increase. But right now, it's just impossible. That's just my suggestions. I'm open to any questions, or I know Gloria is. If anyone has any questions at all. From my standpoint, being the mayor of the town, I just think, after speaking with Dennis and just looking at different things, budget, I just think it would be kind of jumping the gun. And I just worry that we get ourselves into something that we can't reverse. Because the last thing I'd want to do is give her a raise and then say, we have to take it back.
And just one point of clarification, I know it was me and Esperanza that got the raise, and maybe Phyllis, but that raise wasn't a COLA raise, that was
No,
going
I know that.
from mid-performance to top performance.
Well, see, that was my question, Dennis, is how you guys came across, how you came about to make that scale. I mean, I understand you guys.
So the council did that.
Yeah.
Adrian, myself, Richard, and Juanita, I believe it was. Were you on it? Oh, yes, Ernie was in it. Duh. Sorry. So us, except due to us, Adrian, made that decision. So we went to the back and we said, where do we think everyone should sit? And that's kind of where we put everyone.
So everybody had agreed on that, or?
No, we didn't.
No.
Everyone as far as council.
Yeah.
At that time, I was to speak on that as well. I had advocated for a higher rate for your position for motor vehicle, but it was voted down and kept at this rate. I remember that.
And did we give the raise for the Spanish speaking already?
Yes,
No.
I
I
did.
think I like it, yeah.
Did you?
Chester did that. Chester did that. Mayor Riley did
Yeah.
that.
I'd like to see that when we get to the
Okay, yeah.
office. Okay.
How much are you making now, Gloria, an hour?
$15.75.
Is that with your COLA or,
That's with the
Yes.
COLA.
and you've been here, what, 50? I mean, 50.
No. It'll be 10 years now in
You've been here
December.
10 years.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess one of the things that I look at is like, she's been here for a long time, and where she's at, I actually feel that she should be hired, for the simple reason that you can see one guy here that's on the foreman. I don't know if he's on meat or where is he at? He's not a full year or meat performance, or where is he at?
I don't think, I don't know exactly, but I'm thinking that he's still at the very beginning. I don't think he's definitely not at the top,
Yeah.
that I believe.
Yeah, so I don't think he's on higher than that. So let's say even if he's at mid performance, right now he's making $14.50 plus his COLA raise at $15. So she's only making 75 cents more than what he is, and she's been here all them years. He's been here 4 years, and again, I just feel that not just now but through all the years, she's being like left behind all the time. And I personally feel that if the money's there, I think we should try and give her the raise. It's gotta happen sooner or later, I guess, even if we wait down the line or whatever, but I personally feel that because of the time that.
I think if we're gonna make that, if we're gonna go based on that, I think we would need to talk about this again and bring in everyone's raises at the time, because right now we're comparing it to things that we don't know. I mean, just so we're on the same page, in 9 years, she's more than doubled her pay from $750 to $1,575. I mean, that's almost unheard of. And I get what you're saying, that she deserves more, and I no doubt agree with that. I just think right now, it's not a good time in the middle of a pandemic to approve a raise of any kind.
Yeah, I understand that part, but to me, I still don't get it because this guy's only been here 4 years. And I don't know what his raises have been or what, because
Yeah, I
to
don't
be
either.
that close up there to her, 4 years compared to 10 years, I mean, that's only 75 cents difference. And then when he raises up to the next step, you know, what becomes of that one, see?
Right.
But that's my,
And Peter, I know I talked to you about, you know, because you had an officer that got certified and you told me it was coming out of a different department or whatever.
Well, it's not that it's a different department, it's that there's actually a certification that happened.
Uh-huh.
So he went from non-certified to certified, which is a totally different pay bracket on this.
So that's what I've got with my VIN inspection, because not all motor vehicle clerks they don't need to do this. I chose to do this for my town, and that is a certification, and it's very valuable.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that. I don't know if it justifies a $2 pay raise.
Uh-huh. No, I'm not saying that alone, but, you know, just everything that I do. I mean, like, even yourself, you know, I'm going by appointments now. I'm booked, and I pull people in for, you know, for certain people, you know, because they ask me, and I'm totally booked, and I just go home so tired, you know. I'm not saying I can't do the job, because I can, but I'm doing it because I want to do it.
And I agree with you, Gloria, 100%. And like I said, I think you do a great job. So please don't ever take it that I'm saying that you're not doing a great job, because it's not that. It is strictly thinking on a financial basis. I mean, the school right now, we're unlocked. We don't have any raises. You know, I'm sure other places do. I don't know. I can't confirm that. But I think giving a raise at this point in time, in the middle of a pandemic, where we don't know what's going to happen in the state legislature come January, I think that's a big thing.
So, Mayor, what I had said earlier, what I had asked earlier, if you can't do the $2, how about giving me $1 now, and then later on review it to give me the other $1?
I mean, it's up to council ultimately. It's up to
Can we talk to Dennis about her performance, like what her performance has been?
Her performance is stellar. I can't say enough good things about her. And perhaps we could do something like our water and gas certification for the VIN inspection. We can give a raise for that, because we do it for the water guys as an incentive. But yes, I believe her performance is stellar. She is literally the perfect person for the job, and I adore her. So.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm definitely willing to do like 50 cents at this point, and then looking at it next year.
Could we do the $1?
I can't justify a VIN inspection for
No.
thing for a whole $1. And you just got a 50-cent raise, like literally
Well,
like
everybody did.
last month. Everybody
Yeah,
did.
everybody
Yes,
did.
right.
Yeah. So I'm still holding out. If you guys could just please give me the $1, and then I'll hold off for the other $1.
Yeah, I think Gloria's just invaluable to the, we've had two great DMV people come out there, you know, your predecessor and then yourself now, and Judah made those points in your opening comments. Dennis has made those points now. I get where you're coming from with pandemic and concerns for those are concerns, those aren't facts, you know.
I think saying that we're going to take a hit in January is a pretty hard fact.
I don't mind giving her her raise now either. I mean, again, I was for a higher scale in the beginning. I think this has come up twice that I've been on council in regard to just Gloria herself. We've turned it down both times. I would be in favor of giving you a raise myself, based on all that you do, what you are to the community, you know, and just your performance. Even your supervisor saying is great. So I wouldn't mind it at all right now. We're revisiting it again. And I make no comparisons. Earlier you said let's not talk about that, we're comparing. I make no comparisons to nobody, just strictly off what's on the agenda. I would be okay with that. Even if a raise as far as my thoughts. I don't have any other questions. Unless you guys do, I don't have any other questions.
No, I still stand, I think I'd be willing definitely to do 50 cents personally, but, I mean, I'm not a councilman, so I can't vote on it. And like I said, nothing personal,
I know, Peter.
strictly that.
I just have a thought. Okay. We give her 50 cents. I'm just saying, next month or the next meeting, we're gonna have the maintenance department, the public works, that's gonna come up here and say, I need a raise. You guys gave Gloria 50 cents more, okay. And then the following month, the police comes and say, give us 50 cents more, okay. The following month, the office comes, you know, we're going down the line here.
Well, that's the reason that we do a pay scale increase all at once, so that way everyone kind of sees an increase at one time. And that's what I believe the goal was with the pay scale a couple of years ago. Now, if we do this, we're going totally off the pay scale, and then yes, that could definitely happen.
That's my opinion on it.
I mean, it really just depends on your guys', like I said, I mean, it depends. You guys are given the purse strings to the purse of the town out there. And, you know, people elected you in to make proper decisions at proper times. Like I said, I'm willing to do 50 cents. I think anything above that would be pushing the gun a little bit, pushing the limit just a little bit. We could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. In January, maybe nothing happens, but I don't know. From what I hear, it's not looking good. We may see some decreased revenue from the state. And when that happens, don't say I didn't warn you.
And then I asked you about the gross receipt tax, and you said that looked good.
That looked good. Yes, that looks fine. But we don't just get gross receipts. We get also funding from the state from different levels. And those are what is, it could see potential hits. Small cities, Dennis more knows more than I, but I mean, like I said, I would definitely agree to 50 cents and then reevaluate at a later time. I don't know if in January, because that's when the session, but definitely after the legislation and we know what numbers look like. But that's just my opinion, and nothing to do personally at all.
Got it. Duda, you don't have any questions?
This is just hard. It's hard because, like what Juanita said as well, you know, what happens when one person gets a raise and the other ones don't.
Well, you know,
I mean, we're not comparing, but
yeah, you know, I mean, other people have gotten a raise, and I didn't see a trail of people going up asking for a raise until me, you know, I mean, last year when they got the $2 raise, like I said, and I was just, it kind of hurt me, you know, because I was left, you know, and Chief's officer, he just got certified, he got a raise, you know, and I'm certified in a different way, but I'm certified.
yes.
You know, without
you
that
do a great job.
certification, I wouldn't have been able to do VIN inspections or anything. You know, they'd have to go somewhere else to a state office. So,
No, all I hear from people from you is you do great, and you know.
well, I've got people coming
know
from
you're
4
both-
hours away, you know. That should say something alone. I mean, I've got people coming from Gallup, from Chama, Silver City, all over Albuquerque, and I've got Belen.
I know you're right, 'cause, I mean, I'm friends with motor vehicle department ladies in Estancia and Moriarty,
Yeah,
and they're coming from everywhere.
yeah, because they can't get an appointment.
I mean, this is all
Well,
a group.
yeah. Anything else, Richard?
Now, as far as that, let's say we're to give 50 cents and the others are right behind it, I think that's something we just gotta go by it and then, you know, take it as they come, yeah. But right now, my deal is that she's been here way longer than the rest of them that do come back afterwards. And I actually feel that we should give her pretty much what she's asking for. And of course, she's asking for $2 and she went down to the dollar. I think $1 is fair enough, in my opinion, but it's up to you guys.
I don't vote unless it's $1, so.
75 cents?
Well,
I don't know.
How about 80?
if we're ready to make a motion, I'll make a motion now then. Went up with the mayor and said, and then trying to keep in line with their responsibilities, concerns that are coming up in, what, 3 months? January, you said? When the legislative.
Legislation meets, I want to say January 10th, January, February, I mean, at the beginning of the year.
Started at the very end of January.
You know.
Okay,
Last week.
well, legislation coming up in the beginning of the year.
Is it a 30-day legislature, or is it
It
a
could be a
60?
60 days.
60 days.
It's
60 days
60
now?
days.
Yeah.
Well, keeping in line with all that, and based on what Gloria has said and willing to concede to, I would make a motion at this time then for approval to give MVD Gloria, MVD Clerk Gloria Luna a pay raise of $1 an hour right at this time, revisiting it again at the beginning of the year for the additional dollar she's asking.
After legislation.
After legislation, that would be my motion, for $1 at this time to reconvene later after legislation, trying to keep in line with fiscal responsibilities for the town. All that would be for a second.
I second it.
Okay, a motion by Ernie, a second by Judah, roll call, Richard?
4.
Judah?
4.
Juanita?
No.
Ernie?
4.
All right, motion passes. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. God bless you all and stay safe.
Not anything against, it's just
No,
what my
it's okay.
need
No,
is.
Juanita, I understand. I totally understand. Thank you.
All right, moving on, Chief Reyes. Oh, is it you, Daniel?
No.
Oh. I was like, oh, did I miss?
Okay, this man's broke, so I gotta take it off. We gotta return the whole box, they're all breaking. Okay, anyways, from my report from the last meeting, we have been busy. We've had several domestics that have increased because of more activity out in the streets. Nobody went to jail because one was handled by the county and we handled the other ones. We've had electronic harassment. That seems to be the rampant thing now. People making harassing phone calls using the social media. And we're already investigating a case right now that we're actually going to file because it's one of a kind and nobody's done it. But it's a good case. We've had a couple of medical, health, and safety calls during our traffic enforcement, since we are on the grants right now, doing a lot of grant enforcement for the state and for ourselves. We have made over 5 arrests, felonies. We've stopped individuals that have warrants, local misdemeanor and felony warrants, and taken them into custody. This last 2 weeks has been really interesting on these traffic stops, where each on most of the traffic stops that we did, we have taken 3 guns from individuals that have been in possession of firearms on the traffic stop. One of them was a felon. He is facing charges right now for felon in possession. The other 2 and DWI and other charges filed by us and the county at the same time. We've made several arrests. We have approximately over 6 felonies right now pending in court on drug possession. We have caught a lot of individuals with meth. Right now, what is coming into this town is fentanyl. They are lacing the meth and the marijuana with fentanyl. Fentanyl is deadly. If they don't mix it right, however way they do their chemical analysis, if they put too much, you're dead, you're done. Narcan is not going to recuperate you. There's nothing we can do. We've had 2 individuals that have had an incident where they did a little bit of fentanyl with heroin, and we were able to revive them with Narcan. That's the only thing that saved them. So the increase in drugs use, not drug trafficking, but drug use has increased. Working with the Sheriff's Department right now on the committee that we have formed, on our model committee, we are addressing those issues with the task force. We're working with the DEA, the Sheriff's Department, and ourselves to attack that particular problem and that connection. The connection is not here in Mountain Air. It's outside. It's coming from Belen. It's coming from Albuquerque and Los Lunas. That's where we're finding that the traffic is floating in. We know and have always known that there's been drug use in Mountain Air. We'll never get rid of it. As long as people use it, it's going to be there. But the drug trafficking that we thought we had is not actually there. It's more drug use. So we're taking a 100% proactive approach on that, working with everybody we can and the committees that we have formed with the schools and the medical side. Maybe we could come to some kind of a program that we can help these kids get into before they start, as part of like drug court. The drug court has a program right now where you get charged with a drug offense, you go to drug court. The problem with that program is that the individuals do not complete it. They get sent to a drug treatment program all for free. And they go there, they get in fights, they start using drugs over there, and they get kicked out. We just had one female that we sent, and she was gone for 8 months. Fantastic job. She got in too many fights, they kicked her out, so now she's back out, and we just recently picked her up on a felony warrant because it violates your probation conditions. So it's up to the actual people, the ones that are using the drugs. We're trying to get the parents involved as much as we can to help us combat this problem, because we need their help too. We just can't do it by ourselves. We can take them to jail, but that's all we can do. But they need more than that. They need help. And that's what we're trying to address here. There are several grants that I'm looking at through the Department of Justice that would bring a drug treatment program here to Mountain Air. But the problem is I got to find a coordinator that's qualified that we can submit as a coordinator to run the drug program here. And they would come here, so you'd have a lot of people from various municipalities coming to Mountain Air for treatment, rehab, and all that. So that's something we can think about. It's a lot of money. It's a $500,000 grant, but it's going to draw a lot of unsavory characters to our town, and we're kind of thinking, is it worth it to try to help first our community? That's my priority, and then we're going to start bringing other people, because that's part of the program. You have to bring in other people from other jurisdictions. That's something that we're looking to try to help this situation out. Our officers just completed a sex crime investigation course designed for rural urban areas. Since we're in a rural area, it's offered through the University of Arkansas for free. They completed it, they get credits. So they just all finished the courses, and they're going on with other additional courses that we have available for them to keep them up to date on all the stuff that is happening. Currently, I am awaiting appointment by Governor Grisham to be appointed to the board of the New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy. I was asked to apply, and I'm in the running at this time, and it's up to the governor right now to make the appointment. What would that do for the town? It would put us really close to the Santa Fe, where we would get more funding. Being on the board is an honor for law enforcement, because in the board you represent the state, and you go throughout the state and you hold hearings on misconduct of officers. That's what the board deals with. When an officer does something out in the field and he gets in trouble for it, it comes to the board, and it's up to the board to adjudicate whether that individual is going to remain being a police officer, we're going to revoke, we're going to suspend the license. So it's a really important situation for us. They've heard of Mountain Air, which I was very surprised when I was talking to the secretary, and they like what we're doing here, and they want to progress. So, we have my fingers crossed on that. If we can get somebody to represent the town of Mount Air on the state level, I think that would be real
What was that
awesome.
position?
It's a board member on the municipal, because they have, each member represents the state, municipal, tribal, and then the LEA itself representing the governors. The governor's office is represented by the AG's office. So I would be representing the municipal side for the whole state. As a municipal police chief, that position is open, and that would be my duties if I get elected to it. It's a 2-year term, and it would be my responsibility to bring all the municipalities of police chiefs together to work together and you know, avoid misconduct, avoid problems with the police, especially with all the stuff that's going on nowadays. Everybody wants to sue us for anything. That board addresses issues like that, and we prepare them, make recommendations to the governor, to the DPS secretary, and the attorney generals for changing laws, changing procedures and regulations. So it'd be an honor if I could get on to represent this community on that state level. So I wanted to give you an update on that. Upcoming events, community policing. We've obtained, the mayor and Dennis obtained this last year, it's a VIN etching equipment. We're going to do VIN etching for a small fee, because it was pretty expensive when we bought it. And what we're going to do is offer it to the community, where the community can come and pay a nominal fee, something like $2.50, maybe $5, and we would be able to put their VIN number on their windows for identification. So the car gets stolen and they take out the VIN plate, well, they're not going to break the window. The VIN is etched on the window. A lot of community has done that, and it's actually cut down on auto theft. So we have the equipment, we're ready to go. We just got to pick a date before it starts getting colder, maybe put up a tent by the department, block it off, and then have people drive in. It takes about 5 minutes. We get your VIN number, put it on your window, imprint it, life goes on. Using the money, I've talked to the mayor about it. We can recoup our costs for the machine. So that's a good thing. So it's part of the community to help cut down on crime. That's pretty much. So that's what we're doing on that. Update on the Gustin's Hardware burglary. At this point, myself and the Torrance County Sheriff's Department have utilized our forces, and we put our resources together. We were able to recover the stolen property that was taken from Gustin's in Albuquerque. And we are working on suspects. We've identified suspects that have connection in Albuquerque to here. So we're still continuing our investigation at that point. And it looks like it's going to go pretty well. We have good video that we obtained through our cameras, our surveillance cameras that we have in town. And that video has been sent to the Rocky Mountain Intelligence Center for forensic recovery, which means they can enhance it so we can look at the car, we can actually look at the plates, because it's kind of blurry, it's a little bit grainy. But we are working on that, and through the efforts of the SO and us working together, it's going somewhere. We just completed we just formed a dispatch commission. I'm part of that committee, and it was created for the reason that we were having a lot of problems with our radio dispatchers. We weren't getting calls. They were being rude to us. They were being unprofessional on air, where we would ask for something, like when we're on the traffic stop and we're asking for a license plate or something, and we wouldn't get nothing. They would just forget about us. So with this dispatch commission that's formalized with Janice Barella, who's our facilitator, the interim county manager, she brought us all together, and now all the agencies in Torrance County, sheriffs, state police, Moriarty, Estancia, ourselves, and the sheriffs, have a member on that committee where we can address any issues that we have, instead of going over the air, making problems. The problems are addressed to the supervisor, and the supervisor takes it to the dispatch commission, and we address it, and we're also reviewing their policies to improve it. So it's a really good, positive thing for Torrance County, because a lot of people were highly upset about it. We pay a lot of money. It comes out of my budget for the services that we get, for them to dispatch us, to have the computer-aided dispatch software. A big portion of my budget goes to that, because we have to pay them. They don't do it for free. And I think a lot of people were under the misunderstanding that, well, you guys are just Mount Air and well, don't worry about it. Well, I spoke up because I got upset about it. I talked to Peter about it, and I said, we're not going to do this. If they can't help us, we can take our business somewhere else. And we looked at Valencia and the state police to do our dispatch for us. And we decided to do the MOU with them as long as this committee was formed to help us. So it's in progress, and we meet every quarter. The law enforcement side is broken up into 3 sections: EMS, fire. They have their own subcommittee, and then every quarter we all get together to bring our ideas and say, okay, is it working? What do we need to improve, etc. So it's a good deal for us, because we got left out in the back. We're the red-headed stepchilds. So we corrected that, and now we're respected and treated fairly along with everybody else equally. That was our main goal, is to do that. So just wanted to give you an update on that. Any questions on anything that I put out here today? Our tip line is working very well. We've gotten a lot of information. Mayor reposted our Facebook page. I'm looking at revamping some stuff now that I know how to get more social media. I'm not a social media guy. And so I will be posting arrests of individuals, because that is public. I will be posting events that the town is doing and what we're doing. I want to be as transparent. Since I've been here, I've always been transparent and accountable, because I'm accountable to you all, and I'm accountable to the community. That's my main priority. And I want the community to know that what we're doing is for the community. We're not doing it to harass anybody. We're not doing it to make anybody mad. We're doing it to make this community safer. That is our objective, and I've always been a very big proponent of that. And we're also going to start a citizen police academy and a citizen patrol. And these individuals that are selected that want to be citizen patrol are going to help us. They're not going to be armed. They're going to be our eyes out there in the street, and we're going to train them on our police procedures of what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. Because I think there's a lot of misconception of what the cops actually do. I welcome anybody in this community, on this council. You want to know what we do? Come ride with us. Come drive with us. We'll tell you what we're looking for. We'll tell you why we do what we do. And it's not anything bad. It's very, very highly visible. We are required under State Senate Bill 8 that any contact that we make with any citizen now has to be recorded. Whereas before it wasn't. It was, if you turned it on, you turn it on. Now it's state law. So any contact we make with anybody, our cameras are rolling, because we're doing that. Same thing with the COVID enforcement. If we have to do COVID, we're authorized by state police to give tickets for people not wearing masks. I don't want to get to that point, because I don't think we need it in this community. This community's been very compliant, and we have no issues. So why generate something that we don't really need to do? So there's a lot of things that we're doing for the community that we want. The proactive approach, getting involved with other municipalities as well. So we work with other agencies. Thank you. What happened? Did I blow the fuse? I blew it up. Anyways, so these are the events that are going on. As you notice, if you've driven by the station, you're seeing landscaping stuff. We're finally able to get a vendor to come and clean up all that weeds got a good price, they're gonna do a nice job. That place is gonna look nice. It really is. And we had a little waterfalls in our station. We took care of it. That was just minor stuff, so we won't get any more rain. But does anybody have any questions on anything?
I just have a question.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, from the prison, are they releasing a lot because of the COVID-19?
Yes, yes, they are. Unfortunately, they're being released because the inmates are claiming that while in custody, they're more susceptible to the COVID, which is not true. That's actually the safest place. Everybody wears masks, everybody's separated, but the lawsuits are coming in by these attorneys, so the courts are being forced to take a violent individual, look at his crime, and then say, yeah, we'll pay your bond, and then we're gonna release you until you go to court. And that's happened to us here. We had 2 individuals in custody that were considered violent, and they got released. And the first day they were out, they blew their probation. We put them right back in, and we told the judges, we can't do this. We can't let these people out here. They're hurting the community, and they're under restrictions by the state Supreme Court and everybody. So this whole pandemic thing has changed everything. I mean, everything. As Peter was talking about money and all that, you know, our budgets are tight too, and we got to watch what we need. Do we really need it now? Can we wait? Yeah, so it's tough. It's really is. It's tough for everybody. But you know, as far as the law enforcement side here and the people feeling safe, we get commendations every day from people thanking us, saying, "Those guys are gone. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for that." And that really kind of helps the officers' morale, because most of the time we're getting slammed by the criminals, by other people, this and that. And they're saying, look, we're just doing our job. That's all we're here for. We're just trying to do a job for you. Help us. And that's all I ask is of this community, is always to, if you got ideas or something, come talk to me. My door's always open, and you know, we'll sit down and we'll hash it out. You know, and that's the way to do it. So, anything else?
With the movie theaters, are you guys monitoring? Because I haven't been to a movie yet. I'm in
Uh-huh.
trouble. You guys monitor during the movies?
Yes.
Either.
Yeah.
You have.
It's
Yeah,
been
he-
pretty good?
Yeah, it fills up really nice, and I tell the guys to go there so they can see the officers, so that way nobody, and we haven't had any problems.
Yeah, no problems at all.
No problems at all.
Dude, just on a side note, I go and I see them, either the truck or they go and they don't go through the thing, but they sit out there and then they drive to patrol the town, and a little bit later you see them do their little thing and,
Have you been? Have you
No,
guys
I
been?
work weekends, almost every weekend.
Yeah,
I have.
yeah. It's been,
Are you gonna stream soon?
No. Streaming?
I thought you were talking about streaming a movie soon.
No.
yeah. No, and Peter's
I was
been,
talking about streaming, if we had football games, stream football games
yeah.
here.
yeah, and
So
with
that
the
way
mayor's
people can pay and
done.
watch the game, and the school can make revenue off of that.
Yeah, and the mayor's also done some PSAs for us when they're doing, like, I guess when you're getting ready to start the movie.
Yes.
He puts up some PSAs about, hey, you see a crime, report a crime. That helps us, because people say, hey, I know about a crime, and I get these tips every day. And I look at them, and some of them actually leave their numbers, and I call them, I say, what more information can you give me? So, well, that's all I got. Okay, well, at least it's a start. It's a start. You know, so when you see the SO here, they've been here a lot more frequently, is because we're working on an operation, and we're looking for people that have absconded. So it has nothing to do like, you know, major crime, but we're all working together to do the job. Okay?
Perfect. Any questions?
Yeah, I got questions
Yes,
about
sir.
the window etching. On that, how many windows will get etched? Is it just one? Is it 2 or 3? I mean,
No, it's all 5. Or, yeah, it's all 5.
okay.
No, it's all 6.
Well,
It's
it
your
depends.
windshield, your back, and then the thing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be all.
Yeah, because we found that when people break into your vehicle, they're gonna break one of the windows, so it's the driver's side. Are they gonna break the windshield or the rear door? No, because they need those. So yeah, we can do all
We have
the
actually a
windows.
ton of the little things, like, I'm talking like, I think 2,000 or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's enough to do like a lot of vehicles. And, yes, you're supposed to technically do the 2 front windows, the 2 back windows, the windshield, and the back.
Okay, and then, you mentioned that, you'll set up a day, and, you know, like, they can drive through and get it done. Are you gonna do this on just that one day, or are you guys planning to try to do it on more than one occasion?
No.
Because not everybody can come
Right.
No,
that day.
no, we're gonna do it until we're done. We wanna get the community first.
Okay.
And then if the word spreads out and somebody from Estancia or Manzano wanna come down, cool, but you still gotta pay the same price. We don't care, but we're gonna move it. We're gonna keep going until we feel that we've covered everybody. Because your insurance, if you have window etching on your cars, you might be eligible for a discount.
Some companies actually do.
Yeah, some companies will give you, because that's considered a fortification, just like your house. If you put wrought iron and alarms, they give you a discount. So we'll save you some money too.
Yesterday, was it yesterday or today that they gave the commodities over here? That'd be a good day to.
Today.
Today, and that would've been a good day to kind of.
Ooh, that's a good day.
Double down, because you get a lot of people lined up to go get that, and they can just proceed on to,
Yeah.
your station and
Yeah.
maybe get a
That'd be a good
window
idea.
etching.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
a lot more people on a day like that.
That's a good idea.
On the same days
That's the-
that the Roadrunner does it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
why not? You can coordinate with that, and you get a lot more people, even elderly, that come to get that would otherwise come for a window etching.
Mhm.
You know, talking
No,
about.
no, we're gonna-
And that's actual community that's getting those.
Yeah.
That's getting those, you're in your own community first.
Mhm, exactly.
Anyway, just an idea.
No, that's a good idea,
How
Ernie.
long does it take to do the whole car?
About
No.
maybe 15 minutes
No, I
maybe.
wouldn't even say that.
Depends on how fast we
Yeah.
do it and get on there and say, okay, next.
So the little
next.
machine, you actually do it on the phone, and it comes with the phone, and you put in the VIN number. You have someone verify it to make sure that it's right, because you obviously want the right VIN number.
You wanna make
You
sure.
hit print, and it'll print however many 6 or whatever. Then one person will go on and put the sticker on each thing, and then the next person will go back and do the thing on each thing.
Yeah.
It's quick.
Done.
And then once you get into that rhythm,
Yeah.
if there's like a line, you're just like,
Assembly line,
it's
yeah.
just going, so. No,
It's
it's a
just
good thing.
coordinating like on a Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I'm full. I have guys on,
What was
so I
the
can
day?
bring them in
Tuesday.
early.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, I can bring them in early and not have to pay overtime. I just adjust the hours and
Yeah,
stuff.
during that
And it's
that would be a good time.
It's a good thing, I mean, like you said, people, when they steal, they break off that VIN thing, but you can't break every single window.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be right there on every single window.
Yeah.
And I got it on mine, I actually got mine through APD.
Mhm.
That's where I got the idea, I went to a VIN etching event that they had free, they did it free, but they have the budget to do that.
Yeah.
But it's really cool, it doesn't come out, so
You can use your movie nights too, Fridays and Saturdays. So,
Go, yeah, well, we could do a lot of
That's not a bad
things.
idea.
I mean, I'm saying this like if Chief wants to do it on those nights, but I'm just saying, those are times to get our main community.
Yeah. No, I'll do whatever it takes to get the community first. That's my first
yeah.
thing. Let's get this committee done, and then if other communities are interested,
Yeah.
we can say, hey, we'll come to your community on a Saturday or something, you know, and then make a little extra money, which would help us over here. But I want to do the community here first.
Any questions?
No more?
Bueno,
Thank you,
okay,
Chief.
thank you guys.
All right, Daniel.
Let's think
You're
about
off the
it.
bat, anyone?
Good afternoon, council. The last 2 weeks, me and Vince were on call. We had no water leaks, no sewer. Actually, I had 1 sewer today. No gas lines, problems. We had Paul Chalice come and take our water samples, sewer samples, and our back tees last week. We read meters last week, and we're just trying to prepare to start sweeping all the roads that need to be fog sealed. I guess they're coming in the next 2 weeks, I think,
On the first and
on the
second.
first. So getting prepared for that, and still trying to cut weeds and everything else. Just staying busy. And we're supposed to be getting asphalt tomorrow, cold mix. So other than that, just trying to stay busy.
And these guys are extremely busy in the last, well, now in the next 2 weeks, and then the past week, I had them busy, and I know they're like, dang Peter, but no, I mean, when you see these guys out, man, stop and thank them, because they do a lot. It's a lot, so I appreciate them. I can't tell them enough how much I appreciate them. They had to read meters just a tad bit early because we're getting ready to do the roads and stuff. And so, yeah, tomorrow, I hate that this happened in the middle of us trying to do roads, but state called the state highway and they asked if we can help them for 3 hours in the morning. I hate to pull the guys away, but then they always help us. You know what I mean? The state highway department. So I couldn't say no. And I talked to Daniel, and he said, it's up to you. If you want us to do it, let's do it. So they're going to be out. Daniel's actually going to be watching the meters, because we're going to get someone to come and redo the anode at
The high school.
high school tank, because it's overflowing a lot. It's because it's not turning off. I think the anode's bad. We need to talk about that also. Or the probes or whatever. And so we hopefully got someone that will go in there and do it.
Actually,
Ronnie came and checked it today,
Oh,
and he said that he did all the testing from the park to the water tower. Everything's good. So it's mostly going to be the probes. He said maybe next week he could climb up there and do it for us.
oh, really?
So that's what he gave me today. So
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So hopefully we'll get that back up. So if you have people that are reporting that the water tower at the high school is
Or
doing water,
babysitting
just
it, yeah.
call. But we're trying, they're trying really hard to babysit it and make sure that it's right. But so he'll be doing that tomorrow, and then the other 3 guys will be out. They're just flagging, basically stopping cars and stuff, because they're chip sitting right out of town here. So
did they get certified,
I believe.
I think so.
They went to
Yeah.
the course, right?
They went to
we
school.
sent
Yeah.
2 of them to the certification.
Edward
course.
and
So
Vince,
they probably were
yeah.
asked to do that for them, because we
Yes.
got certified.
Yes. So I thank your department. Thank you.
Thank
In
you.
all departments, I don't want everyone to feel helpless.
Hey, and I'll add that we're doing the Kevin Turner water meter.
Oh, yeah.
He's expanding his
Yeah.
RV park on the far northeast side, and that's gonna bring in a lot of revenues for the town. Not lodger's tax, but it'll be bringing in gross receipts, because we got all these windmill workers that need a place to stay, and we're maxed out, we're full everywhere, so he has enough foresight to expand it, so we're putting that in on Saturday?
Yeah,
On
Saturday.
Saturday. Already did the 811.
Gloria, you need to go tell her to hurry up so you can come back sooner.
I know.
Perfect. Thank you, Daniel. Any questions for Daniel?
I know I've said it before. Please close that side gate
Yeah.
that goes, because I go on my little ride because I get claustrophobia at home, and I see cars
Going
that are
up.
parked there
At the park?
at the park,
Oh.
where they go
Where
to.
the rocks
Check
are?
the
Okay.
pump house, yeah.
You know, I mentioned that before.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to get you a key and then you just stop and do it yourself.
Well, let's give a key to the individual that opens the bathrooms and shuts the bathrooms.
I'm okay with
Is that
that.
the same key, is it the key?
No, I think it's different.
Is there one?
Yeah, but it's a different key.
Yeah, I'm fine with either or.
Yeah, to me, I see it as a safety thing, because we got the little well house there, we got gravel, we got asphalt, or whatever you wanna, there. I see them like late in the evening, it could be anybody that's,
Stealing gravel.
I would rather have them steal the gravel than having to go do something
Yeah,
to our
exactly.
water system.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
It won't be just one person that has a new driveway. It's gonna be everybody that's gonna drink that water, and something's
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
happen.
Yeah, I understand.
All right.
And we're talking about lawsuits, that will be a
Oh,
lawsuit that
yeah.
nobody's gonna get erased.
Yeah.
Exactly. What you tell her, Gloria.
I got mine already.
All right. Any questions for Daniel? Any more? All right. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. EMS, I don't know if Philip's on the line. Philip, are you on the line by chance? Oh, it's nobody, but the 2 phones right now. Nobody's listening. Okay. Dennis.
Sorry I didn't put my report in your packet. I thought I did, but no, that's not even in my packet, so. Real quick, we got a roof leak. Remember that major rain that we had a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago or last week? It really flooded out town hall, so I'm glad we had that ICIP meeting about putting town hall on that list. Well, we probably don't need it anymore, because we're gonna, insurance adjuster's gonna come tomorrow and take a look at it, and then we'll pull the trigger and go ahead and replace the roof right away, and so it'll most likely be covered by the insurance. Tyler, we've been doing what's called an employee self-service. It's where employees can log in and check their timesheets, check everything. They can actually put their timesheets into the system. We've had that since the beginning, but we barely finally got around to being able to train on how to set it up, and Phyllis has been training all this week and probably for the rest of this week on it. You may have noticed in the newspaper, we've been publishing for getting a CF grant to pay for the gym. Unfortunately, they didn't reach out to me. I asked them if we could get gym equipment. They never responded, so I just went ahead and pulled the trigger, did the legals, and then they called me up and said, we can't get gym equipment. So that's kind of a moot point now. We still can get some educational materials out of the deal, but it's not going to be for the full gym. Plus, it doesn't matter too much because we weren't planning on opening until the whole COVID situation is resolved. So we've redirected our focus and tried to get another police vehicle. And then one of the issues that me and Ramona came across today was last Friday, we always bought it on the statewide contract. Well, it expired on Friday. So she checked this morning and Dodge isn't even on the list yet. And this is common. So we're gonna wait another week or two. We'll go and fill out the application, but in another week or two, we'll keep checking to see if the statewide contract has been
Yeah,
re-updated.
because I want to Dodge.
Yeah, we want to Dodge, there ain't no doubt about it. The worst case scenario is we're just gonna have to get 3 quotes rather than have to do it all in one
Oh,
statewide
I see.
contract. So it's not a big deal, but it made life a little easier if it was on a statewide contract. I'll be taking an advanced procurement class, set of courses at the end of next month, end of October. And in fact, I'd like Ramona to take the basic, and she's been asking me if.
She actually sent the thing, and I can't find the email, so it's
Okay.
approved. I mean,
Okay, for sure, yeah, because it'll really help her with all these grant writing.
Right.
Because not only, and this goes into my next topic, not only does it hit all of the grants that we've been getting, we're gonna go after federal grants too. And they operate comparable, but at a higher level of scrutiny. So we need to know procurement down pat perfectly, because that's all they do is just make sure we dot all our i's and cross our t's. And so that's one of the things that she would help, it would behoove her. The advanced procurement is more focused on contract management as well as construction management, which is what we're coming up to. Speaking of which, we're still negotiating. I want to meet with Bernauer on the park project to figure out exactly what we need, because we're getting mixed signals. One contractor is telling me that we have to get permits. The other person's telling me we don't need permits. So I'm just going to sit down with Bernauer and say, let's just go with this, put together a scope of work, and then put it out to bid. But we just want to make sure they do it right, because if we don't do it right, if we don't create a scope of work, like in design specs, one might put remesh in there, the other might not. One might dig up the roots, the other might not. One might compact the soil, the other might not. And each one of these has a bearing on the price. So the cheapest guy might have no remesh, no compaction, and the roots are still there. And we end up with a shoddy product at the end of the day. It may look pretty, but 5 years from now, the roots will tear it up, the water will flow under it, it'll just float away, or worse, it'll just crack. So we want to make sure the scope of work is dead on, and the design specs are dead on, so everybody knows exactly what they're bidding on, and then we know we get a good product. And so that's under the advanced procurement. Exit audit, we had our exit audit last week, and he asked us to not disclose exactly the details of it because it's unofficial still. It still has to run through the state auditor, but it was extremely favorable. It's favorable enough where he told us, you better go after federal grants now because now's the opportunity. And that's why we're trying to refocus all our energies on getting funds to do roads, to do everything, the roads, rebuild the PD, get more vehicles for the PD, one of the legacies I would like to leave is a new sewer plant. Let's implement that and let's get that new sewer plant in place. This will be a huge project, but it's going to have an impact on our gross receipts, and it's going to have an impact on the next 50 years of Mountain Air. And of course the water system as well, but I think the sewer system is the one that everybody knows really needs work. The roads and sewer system are the 2 top infrastructural needs this community needs, and it hasn't had in so long, decades. So the conditions are right for the perfect storm, for a good storm where we can really take care of this town for the next 50 years. Yeah, working on federal grants, I mentioned that. Getting ready for road work, yeah. Daniel mentioned that. We're all focused on getting ready for road work. I just found out today, literally at 4 o'clock, that John Jones, our PRC, our consultant, met with, he was working with EMW, and PRC just kind of did a surprise inspection right there on the spot. So he was kind of shaken. So we got to prepare for another surprise spot inspection. And so I went ahead and printed out all the requirements of it. It's still unofficial, I printed out all the requirements that the PRC gave us, the unofficial version of what they gave us, and we're gonna start implementing those as well. But that just hit just around 4:30-ish, 4:25. So that's what we're doing.
Any questions?
I got a question you mentioned about one of the grants at the beginning for the gym.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Are you trying to get gym equipment? We haven't approved the gym yet, have we? I mean, I don't.
No, yeah, no.
So what's going on?
We haven't approved the gym equipment yet.
Even the gym itself is more my question.
Yeah, the gym hasn't been approved either.
Okay.
He's just doing a grant for gym equipment, but it didn't actually go through. It didn't actually go through, so we're just trying to think, if we did get the grant, I'm assuming you guys would approve the gym, because you guys wouldn't approve nothing, because
Yeah.
that would pay for all the gym equipment. Really, what you guys are approving is the gym equipment. I mean, you guys are approving the gym, but I can't imagine that you guys would say no if everything's bought for. You know what I'm saying?
There's just other questions about the gym that haven't come up yet that we haven't discussed, that's why I'm asking, you know?
But like liability, or,
No, actually location, if it's at the school still,
Oh,
or
yeah.
we plan to build a different building, because if it's at the school, who owns it? Do we own it? The school own it? Who's gonna?
The school
I mean,
still owns it.
There's a lot of unanswered questions that, but anyway,
Yeah.
that's for another time, but
Yeah.
okay, I get what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just more for paying for the gym. If it goes through, and if we don't, it doesn't. But it's not, and we're budgeted for it. We put 30,000 towards it. But I want to say 30, maybe 25. But
25.
the nice thing about it is if we don't have to pay for it, awesome.
Right.
but it didn't go through it.
Yeah,
It
and I
didn't
know back 10 years ago, I looked into FEMA grants, and FEMA paid for gym equipment for fire department and police. Because a strong, healthy police and fire, they need to be strong, because they're climbing up on top of houses and breaking through the ceilings and the roof to get to and save these people. And so they need to be strong, because if they're out of shape, they can't carry somebody out, and they might injure themselves. So a strong police and fire force is imperative, so FEMA recognized that and had a grant for it. I don't know if they have it now, but
Real quick,
They did.
Ernie, what are your thoughts on the gym?
I don't mind the gym, I just, again, location,
Do you
we own
think,
it, partnerships with the schools.
I haven't done it because of COVID. Gyms are now opened in certain places up to like certain percentage. I don't think that we're gonna have 30 people in there at one time. You know what I mean? The space is big enough. Do you think it's something that I should work on to bring to council near future, or do you think I should wait? I just want your opinion on that.
That's always just up in the air. I mean, waiting or bringing it, no, it's the same questions are there. There are, have you been approached by a lot of town people about it?
Yes.
I have too. You get a lot of mixed messages. Some people don't think we need it. Some people think it'd be all right idea. Some people think it's a great idea. Some people don't want it at all. It's just.
I haven't heard from the ones that don't want it at all.
Yeah, it's across the board with me. But I mean, those are just questions as far as, main one is, if it's with the schools, how are we partnering there? What's going on there? Who's owning it? Do we?
The
It's
school
not,
owns
it's not
it.
our building, you know what I mean? Kind of that's a big mistake.
didn't it go before the school board already?
It did.
Yes, it did.
It's already been approved. So it would be at that old middle school building. They've already approved it. It would be their building,
Yeah,
but we would basically lease it.
yeah, see, okay, so those are just the
Yeah.
questions I have.
And I just haven't brought it because of COVID. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little worried. I mean, here I am telling people, be careful if we do this, and then here's a gym. So that's why I kind of haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
We were thinking
And-
like spring of next year.
Yeah,
at the
we're thinking like
earliest.
a ways down. But I'm just kind of curious.
I
Like,
agree with that.
okay, perfect. Then I'm glad we're on the same page. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep looking at different areas, because we're not limited to one CF grant, we could get multiple. All they care about is we utilize it effectively, and based on our financials and our audit and all that stuff, how much the breakout is. Right now, we're at 25%. We pay for it, and they pay for 75%, but we just got the Rango, and then we got the ambulance. In the ambulance, the former representative at this USDA told me it was only $30,000. But we got $45,900 for the ambulance. And so this most recent one told me, yeah, you can get whatever you want, but it's just gonna be a percentage of what you pay, so that's awesome.
That was it, Dennis, for me, thank
Good.
you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dennis.
Okay.
All right, real quick, I did submit a grant for a lake. Don't kill me just yet.
I like it,
You like it?
I like it.
Okay. I mean, this has to go through approval through council and all that, I mean, but I figured, why not, it's available, let me try it, if we get it, awesome, if we don't, we try again, I mean, but, a lake here in Mountain Air would probably cost us around 35,000. That's with our guys digging and everything like that. If we can do that, all the dirt would be moved to the airport for our dirt truck, for the motorcycles and all the things. So you'd be knocking out two birds with one stone, because we got a place to put a lot of dirt, and then you got a thing that requires a lot of dirt, yes.
I'd like to see a little driving range out there, but.
Oh, yeah. Where are you looking at the lake?
So the lake would probably have to be at Chavez Memorial Park. We're gonna have to stick it somewhere there.
All right,
I mean,
thinking that, that's
yeah,
awesome.
it's something. It would be kind of like in a, kind of like a T-shape. Actually, I can just show you real quick. Let me just show you really quick.
Over by the,
The overflow
north side of the park?
Yes.
Now, how about we, try to buy half an acre from Dustin?
So I've talked to them. I have already talked to them. I'm ahead of you. I've already talked to Game and Fish. We already have their full support, and they're gonna give us fish, and we're gonna be able to allow it to anybody to fish, not just a certain age bracket.
I like the idea.
So this is kind of what it would look like. So the ocean chips are over here, the water tower's over there. Just a bit, actually. The only reason why it's like that is because that little house is there.
Now, what kind of square footage or a half acre, what are we looking at? What's the size of the lake?
So, well, this,
Have you been to Corona to know what
this would be a little bit smaller than Corona.
little smaller?
Yes. So this is, I've already done all the research on that. This is 250 feet by 150-ish, but minus a little bit, there. Corona, let me see, hold on, let me see if I have all that right away. Sorry, I'm just, so Corona's lake is 200 feet by 250. They have 50,000 square feet. Estancia is approximately 40,000 square feet. Manzano is approximately 50,000 square feet.
Corona was how big again?
50,000.
Corona's 50,000?
Yeah.
So it's the same as Manzano?
Yeah, yep, pretty
It
much.
doesn't seem like it when you go.
Yeah. This is what they gave me. I mean, this is also approximation. I'm sure it's not exactly, you know what I mean, but. Ours would be actually smaller than that. Ours is actually looking a little bit smaller than Estancia's, which would be about 30,000 square feet
Because what?
because of the space. But that's not talking, that's, we need to talk to Dustin. If we can get it stretched out, I'm fine with that too.
Well, that's a first good idea. Even I'm just kidding. I like it. I like it.
It's gonna be,
No,
I know. It's, it would be 15 feet down, 15 feet deep. The first little bit of it would actually not be that deep because, you know, you want to make sure that people don't like fall in and stuff. All that kind of stuff, but I mean, I've looked at all of it. Like I said, I've been in contact with Game and Fish. I've already talked to the people that are going to provide the what do you call it?
Lining.
The lining, the fish lining. I've already talked to water aerators. I mean, I've done it all. So we did ask for the money. We'll see what happens. But I know, I think I really.
Are you working with Corona's mayor or their secretary?
So Corona's mayor is new. He wasn't there whenever that all happened,
What's her
but
name? Cindy then, the other one?
no, it was a guy.
No,
the guy
the one that
now.
works in the mayor's office though.
Oh, yes, Vanessa, isn't it? I don't know. But I've talked to them, yes.
Oh, very well,
And
yeah.
they're actually the one that sent me out, like, their information, so.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
I think Aizen Chavez told me he had approached you on that idea a long time ago.
The one that actually has been pushing me nonstop, I don't think I've talked to Hazen.
No?
The one that's been stopping me nonstop is Chris Ruby.
Nice.
Chris Ruby is the one that's kind of like, every time he walks into the school to do something, which is like every day, he's like, where's the lake? So, and I looked into it, because I didn't know, I mean, I don't know these things, and then you find out that it's actually pretty affordable. I mean, it's not that expensive to do a man-made lake. Really, if you have the manpower and stuff, and you have the resources, which we do, we can do.
And you're also looking at grants towards it?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's what I want to do. I want to hopefully get the whole thing paid for by grants. The grants that I applied for now, we have 3 years suspended. So it's not like we're limited to like 1 year, we have to get it done. We have 3 years. So we can definitely go after some other kind of grant to help offset the cost.
That's good. And, I mean, you go over there in Manzano, I don't even know if Pablo's store, if any of you have stopped in there, anybody ever has. I don't think you can get any kind of fishing equipment, weights or tackle or anything.
Well, that store's closed.
Okay, so there you go, no.
La tiendita.
So then, but Corona either, you can't get nothing in Corona.
La tiendita.
You go to that little store over there, they don't have nothing.
in regard to helping you in the lake. You know, you lose your weights or we need one or something, we could do something like that here in the town and make a little revenue on it. It's a little extra, that's a good idea, I like that one.
And maintenance, would like Juan will be taking care of it out there, or?
Yeah.
Swimming with a little tank, cleaning it out.
So that's where the water aerator and stuff comes in. So the water aerator, that keeps the water moving, and it keeps like everything, like it decreases algae, like none of that stuff is like things. So you have to replenish the water every so often.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is it gonna be right there where the overflow is from the
Yes.
tank?
Well, it wouldn't be right there, but we would try to channel that
Right.
into that, yes.
Would it be like where the horseshoe area is at, all that?
Between the horseshoe and the water tower.
Water tower, yeah.
Well, they used to do the tug of war almost.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
And we have a.
But the Bolívar dogs. Dude,
And
never
then,
did that.
so
Never did
long
that.
term,
My mom.
You know who would win that one when we were kids was
Borrego
Dowdy, Stuart Dowdy's sister, Valerie.
My mom did it.
Your mom did it?
And she hit Corey over the head.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, she threw it and hit her own son. Not Corey, Robert, sorry.
Yeah, we have a 4-inch water main there already.
so,
Just north.
it would be between that, and then eventually, long-term goal would be to put a nice stage right there, kind of in between the park and the thing. I don't know, I think it would be awesome. So, and then like I said, if we get the dirt, we move the dirt to the thing, and we build some hills for so the bikers, the four-wheelers, and we put up signs that say we're not responsible, and go from there. So,
So when will this happen?
well, I know. We have $30,000 or $25,000 budget. We can start tomorrow. I'm just kidding. But yeah. So just an FYI, I did put in a grant for a lake. I was hoping that was a response I was going to get, and not the opposite, because I was kind of worried. But yeah. Movie theater is doing fantastic. I was worried there for a while. Right now, as of this past weekend, with Grease and with Toy Story, we are about $200 in the hole overall. So it's not bad. Well, I shouldn't say that. For the licensing fees and the movies and all that. We still obviously did the expenses for like the screen and all that kind of stuff, the projector. But I hope at the end of all this, we're past that. And I think we will be, because a lot of people are learning about it. I've had people calling me from Belen, from Sapporo, from Las Lunas. I think we're going to start seeing that increase in people coming. We've been doing tamale sales. We've been doing a concession. A lady from Deer Canyon, bless her heart, she asked me for my PayPal to give a donation. It was $500. So I mean, just awesome stuff. So
We can work on a letter together if you want. To reach out to some of the things that our municipal league partners. You know, we know from Socorro, Fort Sumner, and all these little ones. And you know a lot of them because they tell us that you go down there and meet them. But, you know, I mean, I'm sure they would be more than willing to lend a hand to say, put the word out
Right.
into their community, saying, let's go down there, let's go on a movie night down there, and kind of something like that. You know, that's where we can use our partnerships, I guess.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's a good thing.
It's been great. I mean, it's been phenomenal.
They make you one in Los Lunas?
They are.
Because some guy just caught me in the cafe today,
We already too, right?
and he
No,
told
I
me,
remember.
go to watch the
Well,
movie
maybe.
in Los Lunas. Driving, he says.
Very good.
Los Lunas, I told, what goes so far? We got one here. He was also surprised that we have one here.
Really?
And that guy's from Manzano, Silva guy. Anyway, he didn't know we have one. I told him, yeah, we have one. It's already been showing
What about billboards?
for weeks.
I've always loved the idea of billboards.
What about a couple, maybe a little bit of advertisement, if we start.
You know,
into
one of my big things.
That's 55, right, chief, the number of the road? Yeah. We could do that out by Manzano, look between Manzano, to let them know, out here on 60 each way, then all of a sudden, oh, they have a movie theater, just like he just said. Well, they have one?
So I just want you to know that we actually have $10,000 from the previous movie that we had put towards like signage and stuff that we have not used. And so one of the things that I wanted to do is actually across from, right next to City Hall, there's the funeral home, and then there's that open piece of land where the old American Legion used to be. We own a portion of that. It's not a big portion, but we own a portion of that. I wanted to put a thing with like 4 signs, and then people, like even locals, rent like, you know, kind of like get in the billboard business. You could make each of those things the size of that you could get on Vistaprint for an advertisement, like the 2x6s or whatever. And then if they rent it, you just tell them, okay, get a 2x6 thing, and we'll go put it up. Go up there and put it up, and boom.
This is some of the stuff we just paid the radio guys for, you know, we
Yeah.
advertise there too.
So I love the idea of signage. Just so you know, we do have that big sign that we're gonna start putting out, that we got for the grant for the recycling, but we can use that to advertise a little bit. We do have to have a recycling message on there, just, you know, because it was part of the recycling grant, but, so. I've always loved the idea of signs. I've always loved the ideas of billboards. I love it. My brother put up billboards for 30 years, 40 years, so. And then the last thing is speed bumps. So speed bumps are probably gonna go in after the fact, because I don't know if the guys have enough time and manpower to do it before. So I'm just letting you guys know, it's not gonna be a big deal. I mean,
I don't think so either.
so,
I have good questions about that though.
sure.
So you just said it was cold mix that we're ordering. Did we, I know that, Mark had mentioned that it was, he talked to Leonard. Is it more expensive and then since we're waiting until afterward, are we gonna still go with cold mix? Do we wanna try to do hot mix?
Well, you heard about the hot mix story, right?
I did, but I mean, again, are we gonna, when we do it, we can learn from our mistakes too, right? Not order that much at once. Let's say.
We ordered a sculpture, a rock
Right.
sculpture.
If we're gonna do the high school first on 3rd Street, or wherever we do it first, I'm just using that as an example.
We basically need
We should-
to align it so perfect. It basically, they deliver on Tuesday morning, and we have plans to do it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, that's how quick it has to be,
But I mean,
right?
The guys right now don't know how long it's gonna take them to knock one out versus knocking 3, 5, 10 out.
Right.
Shouldn't we try to at least order enough just for one at one time so they can get their feet wet? I don't know how.
I think they delivered the minimum, what we got was the minimum amount they would deliver.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I doubt that they would deliver for lower,
I
but
mean, our public works guy's sitting right here too, because I mean, I don't know what you think of it, Daniel, but I mean, if we order enough for you guys to do 5 or 10, can you, I mean, are you gonna be able to knock out 5 or 10 before this stuff goes bad, before anything? And cold mix.
but that's all we're doing. We're only doing 7.
Well, you know what I mean, though, I mean, instead of doing all of them at once.
I would love to do 2 separate projects. One on one day and one on the other.
Could we do it? Or,
It just depends on the hot mix. I don't know how that works.
When they dropped it, it really started getting harder right
see,
away.
that's what we're all worried about, and that's what that
Yeah.
engineer, I talked to, Marty something? No, and anyway, warning of the hot mix getting cold right away. Even Richard said that when we all talked about it, you gotta watch out, this stuff just gets hard right away.
So, and another, I don't know, I mean, I know you're not gonna wanna hear this, but shouldn't we do that like in midsummer? When it's like hot as heck?
I'm okay with that, as long as they come off right.
That's what I want too. That's why I'm worried, because right
I'm worried
now,
about
it's so cold outside and it's gonna only get colder. I think we're gonna have, since we got snow already, we are gonna have a bad winter. I hope you guys are ready, because I just feel it. And, I just worry that if we get another hot mix, it's too cold. It's just gonna, again.
And if that, Richard has thoughts on this, I'm speaking for you here, you get that thought on the cold mix crumbling up, the salts from the,
Yeah, because,
the natural salts from the weather and then blades knocking it up.
because Market told us that they're gonna make them speed bumps out of cold mix. And I told them cold mix is not a good deal for speed bumps, because they will start flaking off, and before you know it, it's not gonna be there. But then afterwards, I spoke with Dennis and found out that he's gonna be done with the hot mix. And again, I think it'd be nice to do like one row, one day, and then do the other one whenever, you know. This way, they don't have too much to buy at once. And I do think that it'd be better like now to wait till springtime.
Yeah, or spring,
That'd
yeah.
be the best time I really.
Just when it starts getting to that 70, 80 degree weather, because I don't know, I mean, right now, I think we're gonna have even less time to do things with it than what we had, so. Just
And we might have to do the same maybe with the park, that's to board. Maybe if we have to wait till spring again, as long as it's done right, because we don't want to rush it either. And then come springtime or whatever, in summer, here it starts falling apart, breaking and all that. And I know, because I worked in the same place that, what's his name, worked there for James. And yeah, we used to pour concrete in the winter and all this and that, put blankets and who knows what all. But yet you still have that chance. And some, they would crack, you know.
Yeah.
So again, that might be something if we have to wait, I'd rather wait and get it done right than.
I agree 100%.
I agree with that too, I mean, as long as it gets done, right, do that, you want it done faster.
No,
I just want it done.
no, it's what you guys know best, I just.
No, we're all learning.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we
Don't
went,
waste money.
100 years without them. I mean, another 6 months ain't gonna hurt nothing, you know what I mean? Like, so,
And then, you said 7, do we know the location then, exactly where we're doing them then?
no, that's
See, that's what we-
that's, yes.
I know that, like, you had Maria come talk to you, I had Joanna, Kaiser, I guess, come talk to me, and, that's all on Cedar, so we need to, I guess,
So what I could do, because I'm really good at Google, I can map them out at both places, bring them to you guys, and then you guys have a visual and you guys can make corrections as you guys see.
I think that's good, and so we have our map, so we'll know we're more or less in front of the school, we're more or less.
Because another thing that we have to do at the high school is actually talk to the bus drivers, because I don't know, like, can they, you know what I mean? They're
That's why
like,
that 3 inches is so
Yeah.
hard.
well, yeah, that, and then like when they turn, like, can they have a speed bump right away, or do they have to get a little thing to get?
He's gotta be away from the intersection, like when they turn, so he won't be right there. You gotta get a runoff.
How many feet do you think?
And he means into the gate too. The turning into the gate, right, to go into the school, you know,
Yes.
right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they come out of that, no, they don't.
What do you mean,
They
how
don't come out
many
of the
feet?
gate.
What do you mean, how
They
many
do
feet?
the front.
How many feet from the intersection? How many feet from limit?
I'd say, well, the biggest bus is what, I think so that one, I mean, I guess we could do it according to the bus, the big one that's there. You gotta give that bus a chance to get a straight deal before going over the
I
hump,
see what
you
you're
know?
saying, yeah, yeah,
So it would have to be past the intersection, and then of course on the other side, same way, not right where the T is off, and then right away you get into it. Again, it has to be on that side or this side of the, which up there on the west side, you probably have to be before the intersection. That way it starts right away as to.
But when you say on the back, the buses no longer go in to the
to the schoolyard.
schoolyard. They go on the third, in front of us.
Right.
It has that little thing.
It loop,
That's where they
whatever,
drop them in,
Yeah.
drop them and pick them up in the morning.
So do you think that you need a speed bump before the loop, before that turn in?
But yeah, I would think so.
So kind of like more closer to the alley, but not on the alley, but more
Right.
closer to the alley from the intersection. And then from there, every so often.
I
Like
would go there
300
one
feet, I
day.
think you said? 300 feet, you said?
300 to 600 feet, so.
I could go there one day
600 blocks or 300.
and more or less mark it, and then you guys can go from there, but.
Why don't we plan to meet this weekend? Give me a call. We'll go over there and then I'll map it out so I can see where you're putting it. I'll map it out on a map and then we'll bring it to council.
All right.
Sound good?
Yeah, good.
And then same thing at the park.
Yeah.
The thing what I was gonna do at the park, and maybe I'm wrong, but we can look at it, is I was gonna do right in the middle of the park, put one, and then 300 feet on each side.
Put 3.
Yeah, there's 3, right? Yeah, 4 up there.
Yeah.
So I was gonna do that, like right in the middle of the park, and then 2 even from each other from that middle.
As long as you just take and measure your 300 from that middle one that you're
Right,
looking at. so
to
it doesn't
each
come up-
direction.
So it doesn't come up into a driveway or
Yes.
I'm sorry, a crosswalk.
Or an alley, or
Yeah.
something, yes.
But they can go 3 to 600 feet.
Okay.
So it's not
I want them even. I don't like uneven things. I have OCD. So if we have one at 400, the other one has to be at.
yeah, I think the other should be at 150 after that. Just kidding.
Mr. Mayor, is there like a state statute that they have up there in Santa Fe that says what the distance should be from each,
No, that wouldn't be state statute. I think the recommendation is whatever, 300 to 600 feet. I'm assuming we can Google that and it's probably gonna be the same thing. I don't think there's a certain protocol, I mean, other than, you have to have it a certain ways apart. You don't want it like every 100 feet, because then you know what I mean, it's gonna be bad. But the major thing that we have to do, regardless when we put these, is signage.
yes,
That's
that's
the
what was
big
my
thing.
next thing.
Because then you can tell, then people can't sue you for going past the thing, hitting it and breaking their dang car.
You got your, those, reflective, I don't know if it's paint or tape, I believe the guy said it was tape where you could do paint, I think so it's either one, and it's 2 points, it's 2 arrows, so if you're traveling this way, it's
Yes.
letting you know that it's coming.
Right.
Opposite the other way, and then you have signs.
We bought the paint for it already with the glass beads, right? Yeah, we already got the yellow paint with glass beads.
There you go, so.
Perfect. And I don't know if you guys saw, Richard did, I texted him, that poll that we did that you guys approved, worked like a charm.
Oh, out there?
On Cedardale, It worked perfect. It worked exactly how they said. And so I reached out to Richard and I said, hey, let's think of other places that possibly that can happen. And let's try to do that maybe elsewhere. I don't know. I mean, we have to
At
look.
the end of Hecama, right? Just down there. I mean, it's only gonna benefit one resident, but if we really build that up, it'll really benefit that one resident and it'll help with that road over there.
And another thing, I drove over there, the lake that used to get the lake over there at Adrian, that culvert really helped there.
So,
He doesn't have the lake in his front yard like in the Mosleys.
so I don't know. Like I said, I was talking to Richard. I know it's different, and he even mentioned that it's different in residential. I get that. But if we can even do something to help out, next time it rains, I'm gonna try to go out and like take pictures of like the big stuff. Maybe we can bring them here, look at them, and say, hey, maybe it's possible or it's not possible. I mean,
We need all the water to go in the pond.
right into the lake.
To the lake.
Put it at the water tower, go overflow it, fill it.
Oh yeah, put out the thing. So, a bigger place for it that we already own would be at the baseball fields.
That's what I thought too.
But the water over there, how the hell do you get over there?
What do you mean?
How do you get water? How do you fill it?
How are they gonna fill
Oh,
this?
you're talking about for the.
Do we fill our own?
Yeah, we fill our own.
Water trucks then?
It's like 3
I know,
million
I know,
gallons
I know, but
For the,
for a lake.
what's
I think it's
the,
perfect here.
At the park.
Because of the way the park's made and all that,
Yeah, I
that's.
think.
I think that's the
And we have
best
the
spot
water.
to put it.
Me too, I'm just saying.
A backup.
Yeah, I'm just saying as a backup, and if you wanted it bigger, now we can talk to, I'll talk to them again. I talked to them before. I just don't know what they would, what they would do, but.
And on the other side over there, if you had to go in a little bit more than one, isn't that Kevin Dunlap's land back there? Because we used to talk about extending the baseball field to get the fence on that little field that, when you're hitting.
If you did the
something.
baseball fields, you would be able to get 60,000 feet easy. That's bigger than anywhere else. Easy. It's a big enough space. It doesn't look that big when you look at it, but when it's on the map, it's a big space.
That takes a
Okay,
baseball
you
field.
said how do you
know.
I know that takes a field, though.
I know, but I mean, I'm not talking smack because I don't know nothing about baseball, but when was the last time the thing was used?
You were supposed to
Nobody
play
used
this
it.
year. We were
Huh?
champions last year.
Mush ball.
Well, yeah, I used to throw in West Tournament every year.
So, I know what you're saying, but yes, we have not done that in forever. I mean, we haven't used it in forever, but it would be the biggest lake that we have anywhere close to us by far. It's a big enough space. My thing would be water. How the heck would you get water over there?
Isn't there fire hydrants over there?
What's up, Bob?
Yeah, there's a fire hydrant right there by the arena.
That's a 2-inch.
6 inch.
Is it 6 inch?
Yeah, it's a 6 inch.
How long would you have to have that sucker? Well, you would have to do it where you would basically like fill it slow, right?
Pretty much. I think you have a valve that does that, when gravity deals it will fill up by itself. Somehow you would have to tap.
No, but
into
I'm
that.
talking about the water. We can't have the water pumping nonstop. You would have to fill it up a little bit and then fill it up and then, right? I mean, you couldn't do
Oh,
it.
yeah, I mean.
Because it's like 3 million gallons, even the little one that we're proposing over here.
Have you ever, I mean, you're just not doing this, I don't know that you've ever done it, but, ask Manzano, ask Corona, how often they have to add water to their,
I haven't, but I've kind of looked at Estancia. Estancia replaces theirs like every couple of years. I mean, it's not like every year. It's not like every month or nothing. It's definitely like every couple of years. Like they just recently emptied it and cleaned it and then put new water in it. And that was the first time that I've seen it in a long time.
I might be.
But I'll ask.
I might be wrong. You mentioned Manzano. I think they don't manually fill that.
that comes with a.
That comes
If
from
there's
the
just a
natural
spring there.
spring.
Yeah,
yeah.
It comes like that. They don't.
Yeah.
They might dry
I only
it.
know Estancia's, and I only saw it once done in the past like 5 years. So I don't think it's something you do all the time. That's what you get those good aerators for. But
How long has Corona's been there? Does anybody know?
not that long.
3 years, 4 years?
Yeah, probably like 5.
That's new to me. I didn't know Corona had.
That's how.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's new to me.
Well, I'm glad you're on board.
like that. You're
We're not done yet. He's like, I'm done. All right, any more questions for me that I can answer? Any closing comments?
I just want to thank the mayor for all the things that he does for the town of Mount Air and all the help that he's gotten from taking water to Hachuli. And at the same time, thank the people that have provided money and bringing water or whatever it takes, what he's doing for the town, like I say, one hand can help the other hand, and all together we can become, help to each other. And on a note, we need to be proud of the town of Mountain Air, what the things to other people within the outside, within the community. They might say that we're not doing stuff. To me, on that social media, they're always putting people down because they're not seeing what us, the mayor, and the community are doing. And I want to personally thank you, and I'm not doing it just because he's my nephew, but I'm doing it because he's the mayor of the town I'm out there, and I believe that he's doing for the community. He's not doing it to pat himself on the back and say, I've done this, I've done that.
Thank you,
I
I
agree
appreciate
with
that.
you, Juanita. 100%, I agree with you.
I appreciate that.
Peter is the best mayor that I've seen here, and I want to thank you too.
I
And I want
appreciate
to
that.
thank everybody here, and working at City Hall, that's my second family there.
Yeah.
And I just feel comfortable there, and I just want to say.
What about us?
What's that? Sorry, Daniel.
Real quick on the Tohadili thing, we've delivered approximately 10,000 bottles of water there.
Wow.
10,000 bottles of water. So, really cool. And they are so appreciative. I met the president of the Tohadili people the last time that I went. Very nice guy, gave me a hug, we took a picture, very, very nice guy, and they're very appreciative. And, I haven't actually told Natisha this, but he remembered, what's Natisha's son's name? Chandler. He's like, Chandler still out there? He said, yeah, that's random, but I guess he remembers him from football or something. I have no idea, but all right, perfect. Any more comments?
Congratulations, Mayor.
Congratulations, yes.
Thank you all.
And just so you know, it's nothing personal.
I know.
I've talked to you before, but I just want to mention it.
I know.
Perfect. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, motion by Ernie, a second by Richard. Roll call, Richard.
4.
Duda?
4.
Juanita?
4.
Ernie.
4.